Welcome to Livingstone Ranch.
So today I'm going to be feeding my starter. This is for sourdough bread. So sourdough starter is only all-purpose flour and water. And so I've had my starter a long time, but if you're starting a starter, what you're going to do is you're going to put a cup of flour and just enough water, mixing it up to where it looks like thick pancake batter, and you're going to cover it on your counter and let it ferment. It'll grow, and then you're going to discard it so that it's just about a quarter of a cup, the bottom of a glass jar, and then you're going to feed it a cup of flour. And again, mix the water until it's at lukewarm temperature water, and you're going to just until it's thick enough, like pancake batter. So I use organic unbleached flour, and this is what you would do it in, a jar about this size. I believe this jar is 3 cups. You're going to put in 1 cup flour. And get that lukewarm water. You don't want it too hot or it's going to kill the starter. And I'm just going to put some water in and mix it up and see what the consistency looks like. That's just about right. Let me get it all mixed in and I'll show you. It's pretty thick. You're gonna want it like that to where it kind of sticks to your, it's dripping off, but very slowly. I'm just going to scrape it off, and then I'm going to scrape down the sides, clean it up best I can. Now you can clean it up with your fingertips, or you could take a paper towel to clean it. But that's what you're going to want the consistency to be like, and you're going to put it on your counter. You're going to let it ferment overnight until it grows, and then it's ready to use for the bread. Now, if this is the first time you're doing it, I noticed I still have some loose flour in there, so I'm going to make sure that I get that off the edges, make sure it's really incorporated. Now, the reason you want to feed your starter is you want it to ferment the yeast so that it breaks it down. It's easier to digest. It's really good for you instead of eating regular bread that has the wheat. It's a little bit harsher on your stomach, but sourdough has that sour flavor, and the reason it has that sour flavor is because it's fermented and the wheat is broken down. So that's all you got to do, and then like I said, you leave it on your counter. I like to put a towel underneath mine while it ferments, and then I take a tea towel and I put it over top. Make sure it's completely covered. You don't want any sunlight getting in. This is my large starter for big batches. Right now I have 8 loaves going. So I kind of put mine off kind of in the little back corner over here to ferment overnight, and it'll grow and be ready. Now, if you're just starting, you're going to want to discard, and what I mean by discard is throw it out. So you're going to throw out whatever grows in that jar. You would throw it out and then get it down to that, about a quarter of a cup, or sorry, 3/4 of a cup. So that way, when it's fed, it has enough yeast for the fermentation to feed on, and it breaks it all down, and then you're ready to use it when you make your loaves. So like I said, I have 6 loaves going right now, fermenting, and they're going to ferment overnight, and then I'll bake them tomorrow. But this is my big batch. So when I feed this one, instead of doing a cup of flour, I do about 2.5 cups of flour. And then I do lukewarm water, mix it up till it's that thick pancake batter. And that way I have enough to make multiple loaves at a time. But typically, most people just have the smaller jar that they use to feed to make 1 or 2 loaves themselves at home. So yeah, that's sourdough, and the reason why it ferments, and why you have to feed it to keep the fermentation process going. Now, if you wanted to keep the starter on your counter, that is fine, but you would have to discard it every day and feed it every day. And as you can imagine, it would take a lot of flour to keep it on the counter. But for me, I feed mine just the day before I'm going to bake the bread. And once I'm done, I put a lid on it tight and I put it in the fridge until I'm ready to use it. Now, as long as you feed your starter once a week, then it will still keep it alive. But if you let it go more than a week or 2 weeks, the starter will actually start dying. And so you need to feed it because it's a living being. It needs to have the wheat to live. So anyway, yeah, that's feeding your starter. And I hope that you guys will subscribe and follow us. Thank you.